The studio lights burned bright over the Jimmy Kimmel Live stage as the audience erupted into a mix of cheers and uneasy murmurs. Donald Trump strode onto the set with his usual swagger, his oversized navy suit and famously long red tie swinging with each step. He waved grandly, basking in the attention. Jimmy Kimmel rose from behind his desk, his fitted charcoal suit a sharp contrast to Trump's boxy silhouette. "Mr. President, thanks for being here," Kimmel said warmly. "I know you're a very busy man with a very big brain." Trump adjusted his jacket and grinned.
I think I know more about the environment than most people. I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me. I know more about courts than any human being on earth. Nobody knows more about trade than me. I know more about steelworkers than anybody that's ever run for office. Nobody knows more about construction than I do. I know more about drones than anybody.
"Jimmy, it's great to be here. Tremendous show. I hear your ratings have been down, but maybe I can fix that for you." The audience laughed nervously. Cameras captured Kimmel's patient smile, the kind that suggested he was waiting for something. For the first several minutes, the interview moved through familiar territory: golf, properties, politics, and as always, Trump's answers circled back to his own greatness. "Nobody knows more about winning than me," Trump declared. "Business, TV, politics. I've won at everything." Kimmel nodded, but those watching closely noticed he was building toward something. Each question was a step toward a moment the audience didn't yet see coming. "You've talked a lot about intelligence over the years," Kimmel said casually. Trump lit up. "I have. And let me tell you, Jimmy, I'm very intelligent. Some would say a genius."
I'm a very intelligent person. Because of my genius, okay? I had no idea what was happening, and other great geniuses had no idea what was happening. Trust me, I'm like a smart person. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. I'm a very stable genius.
Actually, many would say that. I was tested, you know. The room stirred. Trump praising Trump was nothing new, but Kimmel wasn't letting the thread go this time. "Tested?" Kimmel asked. "You mean an IQ test?" "That's right," Trump said. "And the results were very impressive. Some of the highest anyone has ever seen." "How high?" Trump paused dramatically. 195. "Higher than Einstein, higher than all of them." A ripple went through the audience. A 195 IQ would place him among the highest recorded in human history, a claim that begged for verification. Kimmel leaned forward. "That's really something. When did you take this test?" "Oh, a long time ago," Trump said with a wave of his hand. People couldn't believe the results. "And where did you take it? What organization administered it?" For the first time that night, Trump hesitated. Just a flicker, but the cameras caught it instantly. "It was a very respected organization," he said. "The best people." Kimmel nodded but pressed.
Around the world, a special hello to those of you who are watching from the White House, and you know who you are. I woke up this morning, I'm in bed, my wife comes out of the bathroom, she's got her phone, she goes, "Trump tweeted you should be fired again." Which is nice, he watches us live. "Hi, Mr. President. How are you?" I'll tell you, it's viewers like you who keep us on the air, ironically. It's also sweet that even in the middle of the biggest sex scandal in the history of the American presidency, he takes precious time on the toilet to post about our show. Keep saying we have bad ratings, and you should listen to him, because if anyone knows about bad ratings, it's that guy.
Official IQ tests are regulated. Usually it's the Stanford Binet or the Wechsler. "Do you remember which one you took?" The room went quiet. Trump shifted in his seat. His hands, usually in constant motion, stilled. "I took many tests," he said loudly. "I did very well on all of them. Better than almost everyone." "I'm sure you did," Kimmel said pleasantly. "But that specific IQ test, the one with the 195 score, could you tell us more about it?" Trump flushed. "It was many years ago." "How many?" "I don't remember exactly. A long time." "And who administered it?" Trump's eyes flicked briefly toward the studio exit. "It happened in a split second, but the audience saw it. It was done by professionals," Trump said. "Very qualified people."
By the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam, and I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of, that was the highest mark." I hope you're happy with that, although they haven't been bugging me too much to take a cognitive, but I did do my physical and it was released. I hope you're all happy with it. I noticed there's no question, so probably you are.
"These are very personal records," he finally said. "I don't have to share them." Kimmel nodded slowly. Then he delivered the line that would dominate the internet within minutes. "You've told everyone for years that you have a 195 IQ, higher than Einstein. But now, when asked for basic details, suddenly it's private." The audience gasped. Trump's face paled. "I have one of the best memories anyone has ever seen," Trump insisted. "Then tell us about the test," Kimmel said gently. "Where was it? When? Who administered it?" "These are things someone with the best memory ever would remember." Trump fidgeted, adjusting his tie, touching his face, movements, body, language experts would later analyze as signs of discomfort. "You know what I think?" Kimmel continued. If someone truly had a 195 IQ, they'd remember everything. They'd have the documentation framed. They wouldn't forget the most impressive test result of their life. Many smart people don't remember every test, Trump said. That's true, Kimmel replied. But they don't claim to be smarter than Einstein on national television. He leaned in. So I'll ask one more time. Can you show any evidence you ever took an IQ test and scored 195? 7 seconds passed. Trump stared blankly, searching for a way out. I don't have to prove anything to you.
This is, I have to say, an exciting day. You know, you're familiar with Jane Goodall, the great zoologist, anthropologist. Jane Goodall devoted a big chunk of her life to studying chimpanzees, wild chimpanzees. She spent years in the jungle observing them, learning about them. And in many ways, I feel like I've been doing similar work over the past 8 years, observing Donald Trump.
He finally said, I know what I am. The American people know what I am. Kimmel nodded. People do deserve evidence behind extraordinary claims. If you say you're one of the most intelligent humans ever recorded, it's reasonable for people to ask you to prove it. The audience murmured. A shift had happened. The energy in the room had changed completely. When the interview ended, Trump rose abruptly and walked off stage without waving. His team scrambled backstage, already panicking as social media exploded. The hashtag Provate hit #1 globally within an hour. Clips of Trump's 7-second silence went viral. Analysts replayed the moment frame by frame, breaking down every micro-expression. Even sympathetic media struggled to defend him. The questions had been fair. Trump had volunteered the claim, and when asked to verify it, he simply couldn't. Kimmel appeared on other programs afterward, downplaying his role. I just asked a question, he said. If you're going to make a claim like that, you should be ready to back it up. The exchange ignited national conversations about credibility and accountability. Teachers used the clip in classrooms. Commentators used it as an example of how simple questions can reveal more than aggressive confrontations. For months, prove it became cultural shorthand for demanding evidence.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you know, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
And Donald Trump, who had spent decades claiming unmatched intelligence, never publicly mentioned an IQ score again.
They act like they dropped him into shark-infested waters. It was an escalator. You know what another word for frozen escalator is? Stairs. I mean, I'm starting to get confused. Is he the strongest, healthiest, most physically powerful man-beast ever elected president, or a brittle-boned grandma with osteoporosis? Which is it?
Even he could feel the shift in atmosphere. The country had grown used to noise, but not to documents, not to ink, not to the kind of paper trail that couldn't be revised by a press release. The photocopied 156 looked almost innocent, yet it had become the first firm edge of a much larger question, one that reached beyond Trump and into the culture that had allowed grandiose claims to survive without challenge. Back at Mar-a-Lago, the phones would not stop ringing. Staff whispered in doorways, unsure which version of the story they were supposed to defend. And for the first time in years, no one around Trump could say with certainty what his next move would be, or how far he would go to protect a number that, somehow, had become the new battleground in the war over what Americans were willing to believe.